DJ Mustard just settled his divorce with Chanel Theory. He will pay $24,000 a month in child support, and Chanel will receive a one-time spousal support buyout of $315,000.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Type of bullshit is this? DJ Mustard just settled his divorce with Chanel Terry, and he will be paying $24,000 a month in child support. And Chanel will also be receiving a one-time spousal support buyout of $315,000. Almost 25 bands a month. Who the are these judges that be handling these cases? Plus 315, man, that's ridiculous. I'd rather go to jail for life before I give a female this type of money. I wouldn't even give her the satisfaction. There has to be a limit on what you can receive from child support, because what are you going to do with 24 bands? That's not all going to the kid. You know damn well she's about to splurge that money however she sees. That 24 bands is going to her car, her house, her bills, her mortgage. That's not just the kid's money, that's also her money. In what world does a kid need that much money to be taken care of? A month? Are you serious? And this is just another example of why you don't get married, man. You just keep proving us right.
Okay, so I want to come at this from a different angle. Here's what I notice that I want to do a better job at. I want to do a better job at adding more nuance and realism to a lot of these situations. From the perspective of the average person looking at this situation, you may look at the situation and think, wow, he lost out in this divorce, but he didn't. And I want to explain to you why this is a win and not a loss, but a win. Of course, we're talking about strictly when it comes to splitting assets after divorce. We're not talking about the loss of a family, which is the biggest loss of all, especially for those children. It's very unfortunate. But when it comes to the question, how badly did DJ Mustard actually get effed over after this divorce? This is a win. This is looking pretty good. And I'll explain. So first off, I want to make sure I validate that these numbers are correct. And people hear those numbers and they immediately jump to, oh, that's too much. I can't afford that. But the man's a millionaire, right? He's worth like, what, $20 million or something like that. Just participated in a historical moment by producing the most popular rap song of the year and winning all types of awards. Best believe he's getting residuals from that income. Is she touching that money? Does she have access to the real assets? So first off, let's validate the story. I did a quick search here and I found this post that said, update, Judge rules Mustard will pay $24K per month in child support to ex-wife Chanel Theory. Here's the thing though, this was published back in 2023, meaning that this was established and she probably contested the ruling. She probably had money to pay for those attorney's fees. The thing is, I believe DJ Mustard had a prenup. Now, you may be wondering, how is it that he's paying anything at all if he had a prenup? If I had a prenup, my wife wouldn't get anything. You can't do that. First of all, why would you want to do that? Besides, there's a thing called making sure that an agreement is unconscionable and it does not go against the conscience, right? It can't be so bad that somebody who is in their right mind wouldn't sign it. If you're getting married today and you're thinking, I want to make sure that the chick I marry is down and out, completely act out, and I don't want her to get shit, then my question would be, well, why would you want that for a woman who you found that's worth marriage? Why would you want to treat your wife that way? Because wives are so rare to find. You guys see the women who we see who are extremely big-headed. We just did a video with Kayla Nicole, who's talking about how she doesn't want to pay for shit. She thinks she's too fine. She walks on water. If you're able to find a woman who you believe is worth investing marriage in, then you'd want her to get something. A prenup can't protect child support, right? That's a place where you're completely vulnerable. So the question here is, well, what about that lump sum? How did she get that? Does he have a prenup? We're going to talk to our AI assistant barista, Miss Coffee, real quick here. Miss Coffee, did DJ Mustard have a prenup for his marriage?
Yes. DJ Mustard and his ex-wife Chanel Thierry had a prenuptial agreement in place. DJ Mustard filed for divorce in 2022, and according to reports, the prenuptial agreement was set to dictate the division of assets and financial matters during their separation. Despite having a prenup, Some public discussions around their divorce mentioned that there were still disagreements over spousal support and other issues.
And that's why you get a prenup. Because if you don't get a prenup, then you be held to the expectations and prenup in your own state. And if you're a man today who plans to get married, you're thinking of marriage, it's happening for sure. Then I want to encourage you to join Brew Brothers, where you get resources. Because I just had an amazing conversation with two of the best heavyweight attorneys. I know these guys. You know these guys, right? We have the lead attorney. And we also have James Sexton in Brew Brothers. Information. How to set up a solid binding legal prenup so you can prepare for marriage and protect yourself. Now, if you're thinking he did not protect himself, how was this a win? Check out this article that was just published October 15th, just yesterday. Mustard, ex-wife Chanel Theory reached divorce settlement. So they reached a settlement, and that's probably when they agreed on the $24,000 a month in child support and $315 one-time payment in spousal support. For someone who's worth upwards of $15 to $20 million and will probably be worth more as time goes on, that's a win. What else do we have? It says right here, no spousal support for Chanel. No spousal support. She settled for that one-time payment. It probably said no spousal support in her prenup. Well, why did she contest it? You can always contest. And I bet you before she said, oh, I would never do that. I agree, right? Everything was cool because that's how most people go into marriages, assuming the best. Few people prepare. Luckily for DJ Mustard, he prepared and did protect himself. Mustard keeps homes, cars, royalties, and jewelry. So sounds like he's keeping his business, which is the real moneymaker. Meanwhile, under the terms set by a judge this week, it says Mustard will also get to keep his homes, cars, music royalties, and jewelry. He was also allowed to keep other properties. The court documents state Mustard told the court he would pay for the children's extracurricular activities. The judge found in favor of him doing so as well. Although his 3 children receive, so they're talking about the $24,500 that they mentioned before, the children will be receiving that monthly. Their mother will not be receiving any form of spousal support. This is a huge win. This is what a lot of these states have been trying to eradicate from family court, from the divorce laws, right? And you have places like Florida who just recently got rid of that lifelong alimony, spouse support. You're paying her till you die. Ridiculous. He doesn't have to pay her at all. She agreed and settled for that lump sum. Cool. Right. According to TMZ, it reads, the faith of a mustard seed artist. I didn't know his name was inspired from faith of a mustard seed, as in the biblical meaning of faith of a mustard seed. Interesting. Faith of a mustard seed artist is walking away with a number of assets, including a 2022 Maybach Benz, a 2018 Lamborghini Aventador. Guys, these are 300 to 500K thousand worth assets here. These cars are expensive. She's getting none of that, right? He did leave her a car, and you're going to find out what car he left her at the very end of this. And you're going to see why this was a win for him. A 2000 Lamborghini Urus, a 2022 Cadillac Escalade, a 2022 Rolls-Royce Cullinan, a 1960 Chevy Impala, 4 motorcycles, and more. He's keeping all of that. And he retained ownership of their Chatsworth mansion and multiple properties in the greater Los Angeles. If he did not have, let's ask Miss Coffee real quick. You know what, guys, before I do that, I want to read the rest of this article so you guys can hear what he left her, what car he left her, right? It says they will share joint custody of their 3 children, and Mustard will have to pay over $24,000 monthly for child support. Theory will receive a one-time settlement of $315,000 in spousal support, plus a lump sum payment of $275,000. So if we're talking about what she's going to get without the child support, that's a little bit over $500,000. That's a win. Mustard will maintain the rights to his music catalog, while Theory will remain sole owner of the pajama and loungewear company she founded. The pajama and loungewear company. See, that's the business. Those are the businesses that rich men fund for their wives so that they feel like they have something to do, drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Reporting losses on every tax return, and something to keep them busy. Don't come after the man who serves the coffee. Just drink the coffee, please. So I guess her company's called Sleepover. Now, I may be completely wrong, man. I've never actually heard of this company. Let me see. Let me just look it up real quick. Okay, she's got a website. She's got a website here. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, bruv. She's got a collection here of clothing. They all look the same. The Homebody collection. And before you start feeling bad for this chick, because I know some people are going to be, oh my gosh. Imagine if she never met him at all. She would have nothing. When I say nothing, I mean none of what she's getting right now. Right? Do someone deserve to have your business or half of your business just because you married them? Do you deserve to have that from them? If she was the breadwinner? No, we know when the roles are reversed, women are very, very good at protecting their money, and so should you. Now, the last line here reads, she kept the company she founded, Sleepover, as well as her Tesla Model X. He left her a Tesla. I mean, the game is cold. It is what it is. They didn't even tell us the year it was. But maybe, well, Model X, I guess, could give it away. Right? Tesla Model X. Here I am looking at it right now. Yeah. You can rent one of these right now from Turo for only $29.99. Ooh. Yeah, man. Listen, prenups work. And as long as they make sense and you're protecting what needs to be protected, and that's what comes with marriage. You sit there and you ask yourself, what am I willing to lose in case this thing does not work out, which 50% of the time it doesn't. And that's what a prenup does. It reduces your losses. You don't have a prenup. Now let's go back to Miss Coffee. She's going to paint a scenario of how this whole thing would have gone if he didn't have a prenup, based on the state laws here in California, which are brutal when it comes to marriage. Miss Coffee, we're back. We want to know the detailed scenario of how assets and properties would have been split. Give us a hypothetical here. If DJ Mustard did not have his prenup.
If DJ Mustard hadn't had a prenuptial agreement in place, the division of his assets and properties in the divorce could have been much more complex and potentially more costly for him, depending on various factors such as California's community property laws and negotiations during the divorce proceedings. Scenario breakdown without a prenup. 1. California's community property law. California is a community property state, meaning that any assets or debts acquired during the marriage would be split equally 50-50ths between DJ Mustard and Chanel Thierry. Without a prenup, this law would apply to most of the valuable assets Mustard acquired during the marriage, regardless of whose name is on the title or who paid for them. 2. Asset division without a prenup. Luxury cars. 2022 Maybach-Benz, 2018 Lamborghini Aventador, 2019 Lamborghini Urus, 2022 Cadillac Escalade, 2022 Rolls-Royce Cullinan, 1960 Chevy Impala, and 4 motorcycles without a prenup. These vehicles, all acquired during the marriage, could be subject to an equal split. If the couple doesn't physically split the cars, they could be forced to sell them and divide the proceeds, or negotiate who gets what.
You hear that? Just those cars alone, right? I looked up on the cars, $300K, $400K plus. Add those together, millions of dollars right there. Should have come up 5 times over just with the vehicles alone. Just with the vehicles alone. Right? In another article, it spoke about how she was actually asking for, let me see here. It says, Chanel had been seeking upwards of $82,000 in monthly child support for their kids. And she was stressing the child support because that's where you're vulnerable at. You can't protect yourself from child support, right? You can't pay no child support. So she was really asking for some crazy numbers there, $82,000, and he settled for $24,000. That was a win too.
Hypothetical split. Chanel might be awarded a few of the vehicles, e.g. the Rolls-Royce Cullinan and the Cadillac Escalade, or receive their equivalent cash value if Mustard wants to retain most of them. Mansion in Chatsworth. This luxury mansion could be a major point of contention. Without a prenup, both would have an equal claim to the home, and it could be sold with the proceeds split. Or one party could buy out the other's interest in the property. Hypothetical split. If Mustard wished to keep the Chatsworth mansion, he might have to either pay Chanel half of its value, or give her other assets like a portion of his real estate holdings or luxury vehicles, to equalize the division.
Yeah.
Other properties in Greater Los Angeles. All other properties owned by the couple could also be subject to a 50-50th split. They may negotiate who keeps what, or the properties could be sold, with profits split equally.
So again, because Cali is a community property state, they assume, and you have to know this about the state, if you're a man today who's crazy enough to get married, like yours truly, myself, you have to know the rights and obligations of your state. You have to know. This is not legal advice. This is legal information that you should know. You have to know these things.
Hypothetical split. If Mustard owns several properties, Chanel could walk away with significant real estate holdings or equivalent monetary compensation. Mustard could potentially lose half of his real estate empire. 3. Income and earnings. DJ Mustard's income during the marriage, including earnings from his music production, concerts, royalties, and other ventures, could also be divided. Chanel may seek spousal support, considering Mustard's high income and lifestyle during their marriage. If Chanel's lifestyle depended on DJ Mustard's income, a court could award her substantial monthly spousal support without a prenup, based on his earnings and the standard of living they maintained. 4. Spousal support alimony. Without a prenup limiting or waiving spousal support, Chanel could request long-term alimony, considering they were together for over a decade, which would further drain Mustard's finances.
Are you guys listening to this? When you understand what would happen if he didn't have a prenup, are you listening to the what if he didn't have a prenup and how much damage would have been done to this man's pockets? This was a win.
Hypothetical estimate. Depending on Mustard's income and their lifestyle, Chanel could potentially be awarded tens of thousands of dollars per month in spousal support. 5. Child support. In addition to asset division and spousal support, DJ Mustard would likely still be required to pay child support for their 3 children, which is calculated based on his income and custody arrangements. 6. Business assets. If Mustard owns any businesses or intellectual property acquired or developed during the marriage, Chanel could claim a portion of these business interests or their profits. This could lead to significant financial loss for Mustard in terms of future earnings from his music and brand, especially if any rights to royalties or future profits are split. Summary of how DJ Mustard could have been screwed over: asset loss. Without a prenup, Mustard could lose up to 50% of his assets, including luxury cars, his mansion, and other properties. He might have to sell properties or liquidate assets to fulfill his obligations to Chanel. Spousal support. Chanel could receive significant monthly alimony based on Mustard's high earnings, potentially stretching on for years, depending on the court's decision. Child support. Mustard would still be responsible for child support, calculated based on his income, further affecting his financial situation. Business impact. Without a prenup, Chanel could claim a portion of Mustard's business ventures or future music royalties, diminishing his control over his career and finances. Hypothetical financial loss estimate. Luxury cars. With a combined value potentially ranging into millions, Chanel could walk away with vehicles worth at least half of their total value. Mansion and properties. If the Chatsworth mansion is worth, for example, $10 million, Mustard could lose $5 million in equity. The other properties could add to this total. Spousal support. If Chanel is awarded spousal support of $50,000 per month, Mustard could pay millions over the years. Without a prenup, DJ Mustard could easily be looking at losing tens of millions of dollars, along with potential future income and long-term financial commitments. This shows how crucial the prenup was in protecting his financial assets.
I rest my case. I rest my case. If you're a man and you are not in Brew Brothers and you subscribe to the Coffee Pod and you plan to get married, understand that you already have a prenup, bro. You already have a prenup. It's the prenup and the laws, the divorce laws that are set up by your state. If you want real step-by-step guidance from professionals who draft prenups, a personalized prenup that will suit you and your situation, what you want, instead of leaving your fate to the government. If you trust the government, then cool, right? Have fun. Let me know how that goes. I might do a story on you. But if you want access to how you want to reach an agreement with your potential future wife, and you don't trust the prenup that the government's going to set up for you, and you don't believe that they have your best interest in mind, then I believe you're absolutely crazy to not be getting the information and resources and Brew Brothers that you need to secure and protect your marriage for the future. We don't only have that, we have marriage and family therapists. I just don't understand why anybody today would look around and say, yeah, I trust the people around me. When I say that, I mean the government to decide what's best for me as I pursue a marriage in today's modern day. DJ Mustard did not. And from what it seemed, based on the hypothetical situation, shout out to Miss Coffee, he had good reason not to. Guys, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.